Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for tonight's main event. At the Handed Down Beatdown, of course, I'm Cobra, and I am joined once again by my tag team partner, Alex. Say hey, man.
Hello, everyone.
All right. We are once again on the road to WrestleMania. But that's not what we're going to be talking about at the start today. We're definitely going to be starting to talk about All Elite Wrestling. They just had their grand slam pay-per-view. Had a wonderful match with Brody King and MJF once again. Um, they're just stealing the show. I mean, it just seems like with MJF, you give MJF ring time, and he's going to absolutely take it and dominate.
Yeah, definitely. MJF has been a catalyst in the past 4 or 5 years in AEW. Obviously, he's talking about before he got offered to WWE, but he feels like he would be better off in AEW, and I think it's panning out for him. He's had a lot of 5-star matches. He has put his own matches, in his top fives. He is ranked, his matches with Adam Cole, Hangman, Kenny Omega's up there for him, and so much more. MJF is a hater among haters, but is a love superstar for everyone at this point.
Not just that either. But also, um, it just seems like that if MJF did enter the squared circle at WWE, that they would absolutely waste him. And then that's not even hyperbole. That's just a fact of life. I mean, all I have to say is, look no further than many other all elite wrestling talent that just can't, that come through WWE, and you just watch their aura disintegrate.
Definitely, we talked about it before on the podcast that a lot of AEW stars now have extended in WWE with championships on the back. Ethan Page, Cody Rhodes, Jay Cargill, among others. So definitely interested to see if any more superstars jump the ship to WWE to hopefully become more successful and see where it goes, because I think AEW is an overpacked roster, and with an owner that can't book well, there are factions that are well known there that are dead now because of the overbooking they do.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time they did anything with the Dark Order?
Yeah, I feel like after Brody Lee passed away, he kind of just like, we don't want them anymore because Brody Lee is TNT champion. Now he's dead. Poof. They don't exist anymore.
Yeah, I'm. There is so much you can do with the Dark Order, so much, and they don't want to do anything with them, and I'm frustrated as all hell about that.
But I do think Hangman and MJF at Revolution will be a good match. They are fighting, I think, for a second time for that belt, as Hangman beat Andrade Idolo for the number one contenders. I think Hangman is now trios champion as well still, so he could be double champion come Revolution.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing that has come to light is just how good Toni Storm it has been. Like, timeless Toni Storm, lives up to her moniker. That's for darn sure.
100%. She had a very intriguing match that, with Orange Cassidy and the Death Riders, the loser got their hair cut off, and Real Yuta no longer has his beautiful lock of hair because he lost and got his head shaved on national television.
Which, in all open honesty, the worst part about it is back in the day, used to be when you lost all your hair, it was pretty much an insult. Nowadays, it's not even that anymore. So hair versus hair has become the dinosaur that it is nowadays.
I do agree. I do think Toni Storm has done great things at AEW. She's been AEW Women's World Champion, multi-champion. She's looking again at it. I do think the timeless one is growing on me. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I preferred old Toni Storm when she came from WWE and was with Liv Morgan and I forget her other name. In WWE, I think I like the old Toni Storm over timeless Toni Storm, but it's working now. I think it's grown in the company and with me, with Toni Storm being a world champion for 2 or 3 times.
Exactly. Let's also bring up so Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fisher. Definitely. I'm glad to see they're pushing Mark Briscoe. I've always liked the Briscoe brothers. I mean, being from Delaware myself, the Briscoes have always been, a fantastic tag team. And Mark Briscoe, unfortunately, without his brother because his brother had recently passed, Jay Briscoe. It's now up to Mark to become a singles to get that singles push, and I'm glad they're pushing him hard for the TNT title.
Yeah, I'm with you, and it seems like AEW has nose candies for TNT ladder matches because Fletcher Briscoe had one, Cody and Sammy Guevara had 2 of them. They seem to love the championship ladder matches over there. I don't know what it is. Tony Khan just loves snorting ladder matches over in that company.
Well, I think the reason why he's doing ladder matches over there is for the spots. I think that's the main reason why he's doing a lot of these ladder matches for titles is because of the spots that you can do on them. I mean, who could forget the Cody cutter from the ladder on Sammy Guevara? That's the big. I guarantee you, that's the big reason he's doing that is the spot fest.
Yeah, because I watched AEW a little bit when they first started, and I got away from it because I stopped liking Tony Khan in that company. And I noticed there's a lot of ladder matches, a lot of lights out matches, and a lot of just absurd, crazy matches that make no sense, like the exploding barbed wire death match, which is the most stupidest thing for a match ever. That doesn't look good on TV at all. No offense, to John Moxley, Kenny Omega for that match. It does not look good because of the stipulation involved with that.
Not only that, but it just seems like John Moxley is doing everything he possibly can to basically abuse his body, you know. And in the words of Jim Cornette, that's not why we watch wrestling. Call us boomers all you want, but we watch wrestling for storyline. We watch wrestling, for delivering quality David and Goliath type matchups, that make you want to root for the other guy. And being all blood and guts all the time and these crazy stipulations isn't exactly endearing all the time. Yeah, it's shocking, but there's only so many times you can go into shocking, and that will not be shocking anymore.
I think that's when AEW hits a brick wall. They cannot make shocking storylines. Like that's what makes WWE so powerful in the mid to late 2000s because they had the ability to write a show to keep surprises hidden. The AJ Styles Rumble debut was the greatest Rumble debut ever because WWE was so hush hush about it, and AEW cannot keep surprises under wraps to save their life. Everything
Well,
is leaked, everything gets talked about, and they're always right with speculations all the time.
not only that, but with the way the internet culture is, you can't surprise anyone anymore. And I think that's fine. That you can't surprise anyone anymore. But at the same token, it's also like, you gotta find a common ground here, and I think that's where Tony Khan is losing it. Um, being too much of the fanboy to just take a step back and realize how to write a good story. I mean, you've got all these veteran writers in. You've got veteran wrestlers who know how to do long form storytelling. You know, I you just have to be able to implement it. And I think that's where Tony Khan drops the ball.
Yeah, it's definitely noticeable. I mean, you feel like guys like the Big Show, Chris Jericho, Mark Henry, Sting. You have all these veteran wrestlers have been wrestling since the day they were born and longer than I have been alive for. You have to get their input and know what they're doing because Sting is not a legend because he just is Sting. He's a legend because how he can work in the ring and work with writing a story to sell it. You think Jeff Hardy being drunk against him was going to help Sting prove that match was better? No, Sting knew how to work with it to make it look like he was safe for Jeff Hardy, knowing that he was lost in the sauce because you could tell Jeff Hardy was so disoriented against Sting. He knows how to work it. And I'm sad he's retired now, but AEW knew how to use Sting with Darby Allin and knew how to work Sting to not kill his body because of how old he was.
Yeah, and not only that, but it was all to use Sting the way they did to give him a tag team partner like Darby Allin as a mentor type figure. It was a very good move. I would but again, our point still stands that hey, we can't. You've got all these wrestlers, you got all this ability. You do have the ability to use them, and Tony Khan, for some weird reason, just won't use. You have Jake the Snake Roberts on roster, one of the greatest psychologists, and you don't use him. Like, come on.
Not to mention, he dipped his dirty hands in the New Japan Wrestling and has thrown some of them onto the main roster for championships, and the others have just died because they're just not anywhere in the limelight. Like, a lot of them actually. Riho was a big one. She was in the limelight for a long time before being actually given a championship opportunity and actually capitalized and won. There's a lot of New Japan wrestlers that are non-existent now because of Tony Khan's bookie. And the big ones are Takeshita, Omega, Okada, Will Ospreay, and so many more. I didn't know who Ospreay was until AEW. I don't watch New Japan outside sources like that, so I didn't know who Ospreay was until AEW. That's why I'm like, what? Who the fuck is this guy? And how is he so good at his job?
Yeah. Yeah, Will Ospreay has been under many a wrestler radar. I mean, even the legendary Paul Heyman made Will Ospreay a Paul Heyman guy. And I'm not kidding, because he knew about the talent of Will Ospreay. That's how I knew about Will Ospreay. So, I know you're a little bit lost to the game on that one, Alex, but Will Ospreay has been on the radar of many a wrestler, especially Paul Heyman. So, I have to clarify with that one.
Yeah, of course. And the WWE has worked the indie scene better. We've seen TNA superstars that have been thrown to the top of the totem pole. We just saw Joe Hendry 2 weeks ago win the NXT championship in a ladder match. You thought you knew who Joe Hendry was from TNA? Fuck no, you didn't. You didn't know who Joe Hendry was until NXT.
I knew who Joe Hendry was from the skits from when he was with Insane Championship Wrestling over in England. Dude was good. I mean, he had matches. He had a match against Ken Anderson, where he literally did a Pokemon ripoff about Ken Anderson, like Anderson. But still,
Yeah,
I love Joe Hendry. Always have.
I always said WWE works the indie train better. Guys that came from TNA have gotten superstardom. I mean, AJ Styles is almost a Grand Slam champion. He came from TNA, even though he was in New Japan when he came over, but he was still a legend in TNA for a very long time. Samoa Joe,
Yeah.
Sting, and a scroll of other big wrestlers came in TNA and was thrown Grand Slam opportunities because WWE knew how to work them, and AJ Styles is a big one. And unfortunately, he decided to hang up his boots. But regardless, he's still Hall of Fame in WWE and TNA and New Japan and all over the place because he knows how to work.
Yep.
How to work.
Yeah. So before we get into our next segment, we gotta, of course, talk about our affiliate, and that is, of course, our friends over at Raw Nutrition.
Ooh.
As you can see, I am all ready and built for the gym, wearing my Armstrong's gym shirt, and of course, I love using Raw Nutrition in the gym. Whether it be their protein shake, their Bum Energy pre-workout. Raw Nutrition really gets me through and give me those gains. So, they've got a creatine discount with orders 25 plus with code RAW. They've got plenty of protein out there. I definitely will tell you, I've had quite a few of them. I definitely had the Dutch chocolate. I haven't had Rocky Road. I've had the Dutch chocolate. I've had the from the Bum Isolate protein. This one is very good. They have Rocky Road. Look at all these flavors: mint chocolate chip, key lime pie, lemon cake, chocolate peanut butter, frosted cookies. Like, look at all these flavors. And the stuff that's out of stock. The milk and cookies was very good, even though it left chocolate chips in the shaker. But that's good flavors right there. But if you want to check out why Cobra likes using Raw Nutrition whenever I hit the gym, use our affiliate link in the bio wherever you get your podcast. Show the channel some love, and tell them Cobra sent you. Thanks, Raw. Hit the gym, indeed. All right. So, WWE Elimination Chamber. I can definitely tell you, we have LA Knight in the Elimination Chamber. Yeah. But another interesting thing that's happening is there's this masked individual going on and around attacking the Vision. Now, it could be Austin Theory. It could be Seth Rollins. Like, who could it be that is attacking the Vision? Who's destroying it from the inside out?
I don't personally think it's Seth Rollins. It can't be Austin Theory because the Masked Man attacked Austin Theory to help LA Knight qualify. So unless there's a double gainer that looks like Austin Theory, it ain't him. I personally think it's Vision member Grayson Waller. I think he's turning against the Vision under Seth Rollins' orders or control being injured. I think it's an explosion of inside. Braun Breaker is out indefinitely. He got suspended for attacking Adam Pearce. The Vision is in turmoil with Austin Theory not doing anything. Bronson Reed is just a buffoon at the moment. So I think it's Grayson Waller exploding from the in under Seth Rollins in some capacity.
Yeah. I definitely think that's excuse me, a good theory to have. But I want to change gears away from Elimination Chamber since that is not set in stone. There is something, however, that is starting to cook, and I'm happy that it's cooking now. I hope it gets resolved at the biggest stage of them all, WrestleMania. And that is the Spider-Man meme, El Grande Americano versus the original El Grande Americano. This is going to be a very interesting match. I'm curious which one is going to emerge victorious. because we know that Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser have both performed the mantle very well of El Grande Americano, a gimmick that should not work and works absolutely well. Alex, talk about this match.
What they should do with this match is fuck a normal 1, 2, 3 first fall bullshit. Give me an unmasking, because I swear to you, if Chad Gable isn't the original Grand Americano, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Stop. I told you where they should do that. If they're going to do a mask versus mask, do it at the biggest stage. Do it at WrestleMania. Don't just do it at a one-off. Do it at WrestleMania. That's where you do it.
Now, do you think it's Ludwig Kaiser and Chad Gable, or do you think it's Pete Dunne and Chad Gable? Pete Dunne's the other Grand Americano.
Either way, if you're going to do a mask versus mask, you do it at the grandest stage. You don't do it, in a one-off arena. You do it at the grandest stage.
Well, what night do you put it on? You put it on night 1 before Cody or Drew and CM Punk, or Roman and CM Punk, and you do it on night 2 before the Women's Championship match. Where do you put it?
You do it at night 1. You do it at night 1.
Now, is it a mid-card match? We're doing it like right before the main event.
It's a mid-card. It's a mid-card match. All right, it's a mid-card match. But I guarantee you, if you put it in the mid-card, it's going to steal the show. That is my bold prediction, is that you have the El Grande Americanos in the mid-card. They're going to steal the show.
That's interesting, because I think as of now, the Mania card is CM Punk and Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know who Drew McIntyre is facing? Yeah. I don't know who he's facing, though. It might be Cody, but he's in the Chamber, so it might be Cody if he wins the Chamber, but...
Or it could be Oba Femi.
You think Oba is going to qualify and win the Chamber?
I would say that's a possibility, but probably a bigger one. If not Oba Femi, then L.A. Knight. Yeah.
I do want to give Randy Orton another championship run. No, I don't. No, Randy Orton's time with the belt is done. Let him. I'm happy with having him not be in the title picture. I'm fine with it. Is he a Grand Slam champion yet, or does he need?
I can't answer that, but I will say this. I just, I don't want him in the big picture.
That's interesting, because I've been wanting another Orton title run.
I don't. He doesn't need the title anymore. He's grown above it. He doesn't really need it. He doesn't need to chase John Cena's record. He doesn't need... Randy Orton doesn't need the title. That's just my opinion.
So who do you think will be qualified for the Chamber match? I think we need 3 more men in that match. We have 3 currently. I think it's 6 guys. That would need 4.
So I think we have... So obviously we have LA Knight. Let me look it up. Who's in the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, it's LA Knight, Randy Orton, I think Cody, as of right now.
Yep.
I think.
Yep. It is. Yes, currently Randy Orton, LA Knight, and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. In the Women's Elimination Chamber is Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss. All right. So if there's, I want to say Oba Femi should be in the Elimination Chamber. That would be a good one. Is putting Oba Femi in there. Like, you need a powerhouse. You need a powerhouse Hobbs. I refuse to call him his new name. Refuse to call him Royce Keys. Powerhouse Hobbs would be a great one against Oba Femi. That would be interesting. And for the final spot, it's going to be you know what? Put in Shinsuke Nakamura.
That's just little retirement send off.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, that would be very good.
But you know what they should do with this match? Fuck Drew McIntyre and Cody at Mania. I want Drew McIntyre to defend that title in that chamber. And I want Shinsuke to get the title he deserved against AJ Styles at Mania in 2016. I deserve to see a Shinsuke Nakamura title run right now. Yeah. I deserve it.
I understand.
Real Wob, the 2016 Nakamura WWE champion because of fucking AJ Styles.
It's all right.
And you know it.
But that's my opinion. What I think should happen. Like, I think it would be great to happen. And yeah, I'm gonna get away from the Elimination Chamber for a minute. No offense against the women's division, but there is some more business to talk about on the road to WrestleMania, WWE Hall of Fame 2026.
Is there another controversial inductee in the Hall of Fame? Because there's a lot of them apparently this year.
Well, I mean, we've got so far we only have one. Okay, so far it's only Stephanie McMahon confirmed in the Hall. And the reason why we know that is they pulled the trigger way too early. So we got 5 spots to fill. Who are you putting in?
In the women or period?
Period. Hall of Fame. Period.
Oh, jeez. 5?
I'll give you. Hold up. Take 2. I will take 3. All right.
Oh, that's a hard one. Obviously, we got to do Chris Jericho. Has to be one of them. No doubt. It has to be Chris Jericho. I don't care anymore. Chris Jericho. We've said it 100 times. I'm gonna say 100 times over. Jericho.
All right, you got Jericho. I have one for you. It's gonna be a tag team. Give me Demolition.
Ooh.
Give me Demolition. It's a long time coming. I know the class action lawsuit, for the concussions from Bill Eadie is still going, but it's a long time coming. Demolition deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And the New Day will be the ones to induct them in because they broke their record.
Are they in the Hall of Fame already?
New Day? No. Yeah. No, they're not.
They're not? Well, give me the New Day then. Fuck that. Give me the New Day.
Yeah, you want the New Day?
I want the New Day, yes.
So
they're the most decorated tag team champions ever.
I obviously we John Cena will be in the Hall of Fame. He'll probably be the headliner, my prediction. And
probably next year, probably.
And someone who definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Again, I keep pushing for him to be in the Hall of Fame because hey, TKO, owns the UFC and WWE. Ken Shamrock still deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, especially for what he has done. In both pro wrestling and in MMA.
I do agree with Ken Shamrock.
Yeah,
I'm was more of a. I watched the back end of his career.
Yeah,
that's how young I am.
But he was great. He was the special guest referee in the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. WrestleMania 13. He was a part of one of the best angles, in the Attitude Era with the corporate ministry, with the corporation, excuse me. He had a lot of good matches in WWE with Owen Hart, with Steve motherfucking Blackman, with Dan Severn. Vader was a great one. He has a lot of wins against The Rock. He is also an NWA champion. He's a TNA Hall of Famer. Like, put him in the Hall. Like, don't wait. Just do it. Put him in the Hall.
Do we think Shinsuke has the resume in WWE to be a Hall of Famer, or do we think he's
Yes.
better off in New Japan?
He's gonna. Shinsuke Nakamura is gonna be in the Hall of Fame. All right. He's gonna be in the Hall of Fame, not just for his work at WWE, but for his work in New Japan. All right. Shinsuke is a Hall of Famer. Is a no doubt Hall of Famer for me. It's just a matter of time.
Even without winning a
Yes.
WWE championship?
Yes, because there are some WWE Hall of Famers who've never won a title.
Interesting.
You know, Jake.
Yeah, I still defend Shinsuke should have won in 2016 over AJ Styles.
I
would have put him over. I would have
agree with you
definitely
on
put him
that.
over then.
I agree with you on that. But yeah, not every WWE Hall of Famer does wins the world title.
I think who else is not in the Hall of Fame because it's kind of like a lot of them are kind of not good people. So I feel like
who's not in the Hall of Fame? The Hardy Boys.
I think they won't make it because of Jeff's history outside of the company.
No, they'll make it. They'll make it. Jeff's cleaned up. Like his history is history.
Now, do we induct them with the Dudleys or do we induct them with the New Day?
The Dudleys are already inducted.
I'm saying, who do we have to induct the Hardys into the Hall of Fame? Do we have the New Day or do we have the Dudleys that literally made the ladder match what it was because of the Hardys and Edge and Christian?
But which is who you would have induct them as Edge and Christian.
Because if we induct the Hardys, we need the right people to induct them. I think it should be the Dudley Boys to induct them into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. It's like someone good should induct the Hardy Boys. But other than that, I mean, there are plenty of others who deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Brian Pillman does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, even though his resume is short. Like he was a great champion in WCW, and his gimmick was ahead of its time, way ahead of its time. You could induct, Too Cool, the Headbangers.
I'm inducting in the Hall of Fame? The Shield.
That might happen, but that probably will happen when one of the three's career is over.
Because individually, they have Hall of Fame resumes.
Individually, they're Hall of Fame.
Group resume.
Individually, they have an elite resume. Hall of Fame worthy. Together, Hall of Fame worthy. But again, Jon Moxley wants nothing to do with WWE as of right now, primarily because of the bitter divorce he had. I mean, I agree with him. Fuck Kevin Dunn. Bucky Beaver Teeth motherfucker. But yeah, I agree 100% with Mox on that one. But they do deserve Hall of Fame.
Is Randy first ballot Hall of Fame?
Yeah, Randy Orton is the first ballot Hall of Famer when he's done. Samoa Joe is a first ballot Hall of Famer when he's done. There's so many good wrestlers, who deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Are there any commentators we think might retire, be in the Hall of Fame, like a Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, maybe like a Jim Ross?
Michael Cole does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but down the road. There is a person who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame who they have not put in, who is definitely a very, and I mean very important part in the WWE, and that is Jim Johnston. And you should know who Jim Johnston is. He's in every iconic WWE theme.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame 100 times over.
Do they put referees in the Hall of Fame? Is that a thing? Referees Hall of Fame.
It should be, because if they put referees in the Hall of Fame, then number one would be Earl Hebner.
I've seen Craig Robinson too.
Charles Robinson or Mike Chioda. Charles Robinson, Mike Chioda. I mean, Teddy Long's already in the Hall of Fame.
Have the match with The Undertaker.
Yeah. And also Tim White deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. You know, if you're talking about referees, there you go.
That should be a thing. WWE, get on that. Referees in the Hall of Fame. Now. Do it.
Or at least honored, because they're as important to the story as the wrestlers themselves. I mean, they're responsible for the behind the scenes timing. But
you think that the screw job match was because of the wrestlers? Nah. Yes and no, but it was the referee who also
no,
did it.
and the Montreal Screwjob was a different beast entirely. You know, anywho, that's it for the Handed Down Beatdown. You know, a lot of fun stuff to talk about, and a lot of fun looking forward to down the road. But we got to, of course, talk about our other podcasts that we do here on Handed Down Sports Media. That is, of course, Biscuits and Penalties, our hockey podcast we have Friday. Alex hosts that. I am, of course, always his backup. So it's always fun to do that. We have Dirt and Turf, our baseball podcast. Kat and myself host that one. We are getting ready to hop into spring training for season 3 of Dirt and Turf. And speaking of season 3, The Lap Down, our NASCAR and auto racing podcast hosted by our friend Greg Farmer. That is tomorrow. Daytona did just happen, and guess what? We were on a car. So that is very exciting to talk about, and I can't wait to hear Greg talk about how excited he was to be a decal on the car. Of course, you know, the Hard Count, our pro football podcast, and Past the Pigskin, our college football podcast. Both of those are on hiatus right now. The Hard Count is primarily waiting for free agency. We'll have a special episode on that and a special episode on the draft. So be on the listen for those if you love pro football. The Gutter's Edge, our bowling podcast on Wednesday night with me and Ricky Swearingen. If you are a league bowler, trust me, you can't miss that. Or hey, even if you just do it for fun, you know, we show off new bowling balls. We talk about the PBA, and we even get advice on league bowling itself. So check that out as well. The Handed Down Bench, our hangout podcast, which we haven't done in a while, for kind of a good reason. We haven't really, had a need to hang out for a while. And, check us out on YouTube, on Spotify. And we have a Patreon if you want to support us that way. For as much as a $1, Arizona Iced Tea, you can definitely support the channel and show us some love that way. We have affiliate links down in the bio. Our affiliate partners help keep the lights on. And, of course, like I said, we can't do this without you. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And, of course, tell us how we do. We respond very well to criticism. But that is it for the Handed Down Beatdown. Ring that bell. Ding.
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 Ding.